Welcome to my latest video. Right, we're going to start on Learn Basic CSS by building a cafe menu, sorry. And here we go. So we're going to build that. So start coding. So add the doc type HTML tag and an HTML tag with a language attribute of EN. So question, exclamation mark, doc type on uppercase, HTML, then we do HTML, another HTML but a closing tag this time, or a closing element, whatever you want to call it, a tag or an element. So language equals inverted comma EN for English. Then we'll move submit and move to the next challenge. Add a head element with the HTML element, so add a title element, and title's text should be cafe menu. So I'll just copy and paste. So Control C, highlight, Control C, head tag or a head element, a closing head tag with a backslash. And in the head element or head tag, add a title tag. So title, closing title. And then in between the two titles, Control V, put the cafe menu. No, so you should have a closing title tag. So what did I do? Don't do what I done. I'm forever saying that, eh? Right, the title is one of several elements that provide extra information not visible on the web page, but is useful for search engines or how the page gets displayed. Inside the head element, nest a meta element with a meta tag or meta element with an attribute named charset set to value UTF-8 to tell the browser how to encode characters for the page. Remember that meta elements are void elements and require no ending tag. Pardon me. So inside the head tag, below the title, put a meta tag. So meta, and make sure you've got that. Meta charset equals inverted commas UTF minus 8, and then just end it with that. Then you move on to the next one. So to prepare to create some actual content, add a body element below the head element. So below the head element this time, we've got a body element. Again, don't do what I done. Closing body tag. That's it. So that's all we need to do for that step. So we've got the body tag. So it's time to add some menu content. Add a main element or main tag. So main with a backslash main. Within the existing body element, it will eventually contain pricing information about coffee and desserts offered by the cafe. Right, so step 6, name of the cafe is Camper Cafe. So again, I would just highlight, Control C, add an H1 element within your main element. So give it a space, H1, so it's an H1 element or H1 tag, and then put it Control V. And then as you see, Camper Cafe appears. So to let visitors know the cafe was founded in 2020, add a P element. So we'll add a paragraph element. Oh no, don't do what I done again. Backslash P below the H1 element with the text, and then just Control C again, Control V. Moving on. There will be two sections on the menu, one for coffees and one for desserts. Add a section element with the main element so you have a place to put all the coffees available. Right, so add a section element within the main element. So section, a closing section, I think that's all you need to do. Aye. Make sure it's within the main element. So create an H2. So space again, H2. We're closing H2. Oh, closing H2 in the section element and give it the text coffee. Either type that or just can do Control C and put it in there, Control V, and then you'll see coffee appear. Until now, you had limited control over presentation and appearance of your content. To change that, add a style element within the head element. So within the head element and under title, make a style element or a style tag. Oh. And this is where we're going to style it with colours and different stuff, basically. You'll see as we go. Right, so style tag. Right, we're moving on. You can add style to an element by specifying it in the style element and setting a property for it like this. So the element would be, say, an H1 or a H2 or image or etc. And then you put I don't know if you want to call them parentheses or brackets or blah de blah, and then your property would go here. So it would be text align. You'd put text align under next to where property is, and then colon, and then your value would be centre or left or right or wherever you're going to put it, like so. So it'll be but you can add style to an element by specifying it in the style element. Right, so centre the content of the H1. So H1 space brackets or parentheses, whatever you want to call them. Even get two spaces actually, and then put in text align colon centre semicolon, and you'll see it going into the centre. And then if you didn't see it going into the centre, you can put left, so go to the left, or you can put right, I'll go to the right. But that's just once you've got it set up and working. You can change the values. So basically I want you to do centre, and then you'll move on. In the previous step, you used a type selector to style the H1 element. Centre the content of the H2 and the P elements by adding a new type selector for each one to the existing style element. Right, so centre the content of the H2 and P. So H2 instead of H1 this time, parentheses, or as I say, whatever you want to call them, brackets. So again, we want the text align colon centre semicolon, and then we want to do one for the P, paragraph parentheses, two spaces, text align colon centre semicolon, no semicolon, semicolon. And don't forget your semicolons. Now you have 3 type selectors with the same styling. You can add the same group of styles to many elements by creating a list of selectors. Each selector is separated by commas like this. So your selector will be H1 or comma H2 comma H3 comma H4 etc. And again, you just put text align in here or whatever you want to do with it, and then the value of a centre or left or right. So delete the 3 existing type selectors and replace them with one selector list that centres the text, H1, H2 and P element. So you can do it all single, or you can do it this way. So you can do H1 comma H2 comma P parentheses or brackets, 2 spaces down, text align, and you get the picture. Centre, semicolon, it centres the whole lot. So you have styled three elements by writing CSS inside the style tags. This works, but since there will be many more styles, it's best to put all the styles in a separate file and link it to it. A separate style CSS file has been created for you. You can switch between, so there it says index.html and style CSS. So a separate style CSS file has been created for you there. Styles.css. You can switch between the files, so you can go index.html, and that's your HTML, or you can go CSS, style CSS, and then you do your styling. So that's your index, and you'll see style CSS in a minute. So a separate style CSS file has been created for you. You can switch between the files with the tab at the top of the editor. Start by rewriting the styles you have created in the style CSS. Make sure you exclude the opening and closing style tags. So H1, comma, H2, comma, P, and then it's just text align, colon, center, semicolon. I think that's what they're wanting anyway. Aye. Right, so now that you have your CSS in, so this is your CSS here, and this is your HTML. Or you can have one up at one up at a time. You can have HTML up, or you can have CSS up, or you can have the two of them side by side. So now that you have the CSS in the style CSS file, go ahead and remove the style element. So the style element, the whole style element, so remove all that up to style, and obviously your CSS does what that was doing. So now you need to link the style CSS file so that the styles will be applied again inside the head element and the link element. Give it a relationship attribute with the value of style sheet and an hyperreference attribute with the value of style.css. Note that the link element is a void element. So in the head tag we need a link, we need a relationship equals style. I don't even know if that stands for relationship, but that's how I remember it. href hyperreference equals, I know that's hyperreference right now. So styles, or whatever your file's called, basically. That's how you're telling the computer where to find it. So styles.css. So if that's not the name of your file, then change it to style CSS or whatever the name of the file is. But in this case, it's styles.css. But it's whatever you save it under, it'll be put in here, and it'll always be a style sheet. So submit, and then wait a fortnight to move on. For the styling of the page to look similar on a mobile as it does on a desktop or laptop, you need to add a meta with the special content attribute. Add the following within the head element. So I would just Control C, highlight, and Control C, Control V, and then we'll just open that right up and let you see it. Right, so the text is centered again, so the link to the CSS file is working. Add another style to the file that changes the background color property to brown for the body element. So we need a body element or a body tag, so we're going to tell it to do change the background color to brown, semicolon. And as you see, it changed to brown. So you can change it to red if you want, or blue, or whatever. Any colour basically, just once you've got it working, it'll start doing stuff. So that brown background makes it hard to read text. Change the body element's background colour to burly wood. So burly wood. Oh. Then you can see you can read the text now. The div element is mainly used for design layout purposes, unlike the other content elements you have used so far. Add a div element inside the body element and then move all the other elements inside the new div. Inside the opening div tag, add the ID attribute with the value of the menu. Right, we're going to try that again. The div element is used mainly for design layout purposes, unlike the other content elements you have used so far. Add a div element inside the body element. Okay, so div. Oh, that's easy done. So just make sure you don't do that. Div element inside the body element and then move all the other elements inside the div. Alright, so Control C, Control V, and I would delete all that up to the body. I think that's what I want you to do. No. So your div element tag should have an ID attribute. Ah, it is. No, your div element. So your div element. So ID equals. Oh, excuse me. Inverted commas menu. So you should remove all your other elements inside the new div. Of course, right. So don't do what I done. So it's an easy mistake. Well, they're all easy mistakes to make, but it just shows you how easy it is. You can miss one of them. You can miss a menu. You can miss an ID. You can miss a main. You can miss a H1. You can miss an H2 or a backslash for the closing. There's a lot of mistakes you can make, basically. Just be careful. Okay, thanks very much for watching my latest video. When I've got more time, I'll upload more. Okay, thanks very much. Cheers now, bye. Cheery bye, cheery bye, cheery bye, cheery bye.